Hey, and welcome to the Marketing Checklist Viewcast. We're Sharon and Hank Yuloff from Yuloff Creative Marketing Solutions. When you're looking to solve your marketing, sales, HR challenges, we are the small business coaches that you call.
On this Viewcast, you will meet and learn from successful entrepreneurs who are out there making it happen right now.
Yep, here's how it works. We pre-send the questions to our guests so we get the pre-answers so we know how to get you the right answers. Besides, we fit into a 7-minute, 21-second format, and if we don't check their answers, they're going to go way. You should have heard the first round of this interview. Hey, that's what we do. Well, why don't you welcome our guest, because we really like him. He's awesome.
Welcome in, Bob Vitamante. Great to see you today.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you, you want to do a Bob. We were interviewed on the Bob podcast, another guy named Bob, and it was 8 minutes, 8 seconds because 808 spelled B-O-B. I wanted to change my name to Bob, so you ought to do that. Anyway.
Next time around.
Yes. All right, Bob, are you ready to get started?
We'll give it a shot. I'm here.
All right. Starting the clock. Keeping in mind we only have a 3-story building, what is your elevator story?
So have you run into any business people today that are really pleasantly surprised by how everything's going? Everything's cruising along. Well, I haven't. And I spend a lot of time in the business world, and there's a tremendous amount of fear out there. And it's a fear about what to do, what to prioritize. And so I bring calm experience to that situation. So if that's of interest to you, let's have a conversation.
Awesome. So give us just a little bit more. What's your business really all about?
Well, it's really about understanding the elements of business. I come from a financial background. I was a CPA for 10 years. I've been the CFO of a bunch of companies, but I come from a perspective of a holistic approach to a business. I understand the dynamics of any business and all the pieces that fit. And I bring that to problems, and I do it fast. I have a high level of pattern recognition. I can see what your issues are and communicate them at a level that you will grasp it.
Well, okay, why should our listeners flock to you?
Well, I have extensive experience in running businesses, running from the financial end first and then throughout the operational pieces. So having that experience as well as a background as a CPA for 10 years, I understand how it all comes together. And I also understand how they talk together in the financial sense, and then how they get manifest in operating practices, et cetera. So if you're struggling with staff, you're struggling with your numbers, et cetera, very often you're looking at a symptom, not the cause. So I can quickly, I've done a lot of acquisitions and mergers and acquisitions, done over 30 companies. So I walk in and I can assess something very quickly and then communicate in such a way as you understand. Now, we're getting a lot of noise. Did you pick that up? So sorry, they decided to do construction right now.
Can't hear a thing.
No,
okay, great. Okay, good.
Out.
So the net of it is I bring a perspective, and no business owner has a perspective about their business that's independent. And so having somebody with real expertise, CFO, law, all of that stuff, and I bring that to the situation, and I realize that I'm dealing with a human being. And so I communicate. I'm a certified coach, and that helps in the communication.
Awesome. All right. Well, what tips could you give to our listeners?
First, you are not independent or objective. So any business owner who sees a problem is seeing it through their lens. And so getting an additional perspective from any qualified outsider, as opposed to anyone else, and doing it all yourself, as we are now getting, doesn't allow wisdom to percolate in. I would also say whenever you're bringing people on, whether it's an advisor or an employee, you really need to understand what their roles will be, what the deliverables will be, what the timetables will be. You've got to know what you're going to be getting. And so any relationship, whether it's a marriage or an employee or a consultant, is a marriage, because you're going to spend time, energy, and talent on managing that. And if you spend it wrong, it's very expensive. So that's an important tip.
Awesome. What's an amusing job title for you?
Well, it's very fascinating. People who meet me, they think I'm a salesperson. So I've been called an accountant with personality, which I guess there's an aura around the
It
world
could
of accountants.
happen.
Hey, I have one accident, right? Me. So in a sense, people put people into pigeonholes and they think that whether you're a marketing person, that's all you know. That's why you guys are great in HR. It's more than you deal with things holistically. I deal with things holistically. So you can call me a holistic accountant business entrepreneur. How's that? I'll throw that in.
Okay. All right. What's the most unexpected thing that you've ever encountered in your business?
Oh, being recruited by two board members who were secretly trying to fire the CEO who was hiring me. That was a very fascinating experience.
Wow.
And being submarined in that process. And it was just fascinating and this was a very large publicly traded company. So it was a complete shock. And I'm ever the optimist. So I tried to work with them, et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't know that one of them wanted to take over the company individually as a director. So surprise, surprise. But it was a great learning experience in understanding that people have objectives and they have agendas. And no matter what I think you're saying, whatever your body language is saying, you've got to see all of the pieces and how they connect. And that's one of the things I do. I'm an expert at connecting dots and creating a story.
What is your favorite business tool that you use to get the job done?
Well, I have created a number of different questionnaires that seek to connect the values of the individual who's the owner or the manager with how they get expressed in the business. And there I get to see how they see themselves and how they get expressed in the business. And then I kick the tires in the business. I say, tell me, how do you know you're successful? So asking, do they have KPIs, key performance indicators? How do they know they're doing well? And very often I say, hey, I got more cash than that at the end of the day. But, as an accountant, that business activities are never all immediately on a real-time basis recorded. So to me, understanding your numbers, understanding the dots, and having your story. So if I ask you, what's your business and are you successful? And I do that in a couple of different ways, I get very clear whether you know your business, because very often you might not.
Okay. What did you learn in nursery school that you still use today? This is our favorite question.
Two things. Everything is play nice, and have fun. And I have been blessed with carrying that attitude into all the jobs I've had, whether working with the largest CPA firm in the world or the CFO of billion-dollar companies. My people, anybody around me says, you're having too much fun. And that generates energy for me. So.
And if there was a number one fantasy lead you could get, who would it be?
Well, you'll be surprised. Oprah Winfrey.
I'm not surprised. That's we get that on almost every episode of this podcast. Like if Oprah ever has a night where she's just watching our show, she's going to have like 67 people that all want to talk to her.
She's really busy just with our podcast.
I know, it really would happen that way. So if someone is actually listening and they like joint ventures, who's a great target audience for you that say, oh my God, I've got 17 clients that need Bob? Who would that be?
First of all, people who are honest about what they think they know their clients need, that they put their clients first. And I would reverse this both ways, is I would never entrust somebody unless I really think they put their clients first. So they've got to be ethical. I have to know what they know. And so they have to have a spirit of collaboration, coachability, et cetera. And we got to know where we begin and end. What do you do? What do I do? And how do we report to each other to keep each other properly apprised? And that's essential because you want to make certain at the end of the day, your client walks away with a really wonderful feeling.
Gotcha. So with that in mind, do you have an offer you want to give to people to get them to start the conversation?
Certainly. Well, I have on my website a free self-readiness checklist. So wherein somebody who reads it actually assesses themselves by adding a point score to a series of affirmative statements. And out of that, they get a sense of what their issues are, because it will definitely unearth issues. And then if they think they can handle them, great. But if they think, hey, they could use some coaching on that, That's what I do.
Excellent. And that
So
website
I
is in the
offer,
show
I
notes.
offered some time to really explore their answers and say, okay, let's see, how would you handle that? And getting an outside perspective is always accretive to whatever you're doing. It just is. So, you know, you can find out if somebody thinks you're crazy or not. So that's that's my offer.
Awesome. That link will be in the show notes, everybody. So that's time.
Awesome. So go connect with Bob and make sure you connect with us at howtogetttherefaster.com.
Yep, you can sign up for your free 30-minute success call. Most small business owners that take advantage of that let us know that that was worth like $10,000 in either increased sales or savings to their bottom line. So we can begin our conversation at howtogetttherefaster.com.
And if you would like to be on the Marketing Checklist Viewcast,
God, that would be so good. Come on this channel.
let us know when you schedule your time at howtogetttherefaster.com.
Yep, remember everybody, if everything happens for a reason,
Be the reason things happen.
see you next time.